transition you just saw is called a match frame, and it's honestly way easier to do than it looks. It will impress your client or your viewer, but it's also kind of easy to mess up, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Before we jump in Resolve, the most important part of this transition is ensuring that you have good footage. And I don't mean it has to be the best looking footage, but you just need to make sure you're capturing the right stuff. This is why pre-production is so important. You get out what you put in. And if you're interested in learning more about my pre-production process, I have a full YouTube video about that on my channel. Now, I won't lie, you can get lucky and find these opportunities in your edit, but it's a lot less likely than if you plan it out. Now here we have our two clips, and as you can see, they're similar, but they're not really lined up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this clip and we're actually just gonna bring the opacity down. Now we're gonna take it and we're gonna move it one frame over to put it over the very last frame of that first clip. And now we can kind of see what we need to align. We're just gonna kind of adjust both of these clips until they meet in the middle. And there you go, that's pretty close. As you can see, the pole and the windows are lined up. The counter and this chair, they're a little bit off, but it's honestly next to impossible to get an exact frame replica unless you're on a tripod or if you're using a robot arm. You wanna make sure that you trim the first clip and then bring this clip down. You can watch it back and boom, pretty decent transition, but how can we make it even better? Well, the way you make a transition better is by putting some kind of transition on. Me, I'm gonna use this shake transition, and let's take a look. Bam, much better. Now, a pro tip is to put an adjustment layer above the transition and add some motion blur. It's gonna help sell the effect, but this transition that I'm using has motion blur built in, so I'm not gonna do that. Now, how can we make it even more dynamic? Well, you add more movement. Now, because I filmed this clip horizontal, I actually have a bit of the clip on each side, so I'm just gonna add some keyframes. And the key here is you wanna go right to the middle of your transition and add a keyframe on both clips. We can go to the start of this clip, keyframe it all the way over to as far as we want. Go to the end of this clip and then keyframe it over as far as we want on this side. And then when we play it back, it'll look like this. And that's how you do a match frame.